Cowboys Nation, what just went down in the NFL draft has left the entire football world stunned, and the Dallas Cowboys are at the center of this seismic shakeup. You better strap in because this moment is already being talked about as one of the most shocking and polarizing decisions in recent draft history. The Cowboys made a move that has set off a tidal wave of reactions, from furious analysts to confused fans to those still trying to piece together what this means for the franchise's future. And leading the charge in the outrage is none other than Louis Riddick, a respected former front office executive and longtime NFL analyst who did not hold back for even a second when Dallas revealed their choice. What the Cowboys just did wasn't simply unexpected, it was electric, dramatic, and potentially franchise-altering. As we dive into what just happened, let's paint the picture clearly. Leading up to the draft, speculation was boiling over that the Cowboys were going to target a quarterback to eventually succeed Dak Prescott. That speculation wasn't just media-driven, it was deeply rooted in facts. Prescott's future with the team remains uncertain, and rumors of the Cowboys exploring other quarterback options have been swirling for months. And standing out among all the potential future stars at quarterback was none other than Shedeur Sanders, the son of NFL legend Deion Sanders. With a name that already commands attention, Shedeur wasn't just a familiar face, he was one of the most hyped, most dissected, and most scouted quarterback prospects in the entire class. From his standout performances in college to his calm demeanor and ability to lead, everything about Shedeur seemed tailor-made for the bright lights of Dallas. The narrative was forming in real time, a Texas team picking up a Texas-connected star, someone with swagger, a big arm, and the kind of charisma that reminds fans of past legends. For a franchise that thrives on drama and star power, Shedeur felt like a natural fit. Cowboys fans, analysts, and insiders alike had convinced themselves that this match was too good to pass up. But when it came time to make the pick, the Dallas Cowboys threw a wrench into every projection, every mock draft, and every plan. Instead of taking Shedeur Sanders, the Cowboys selected Shavon Reveljar, a name that wasn't unknown but certainly wasn't expected at that point in the draft. Reveljar is a talented quarterback, no question about it, but most analysts had him projected to be picked later in the draft. Dallas didn't care. They saw something in Reveljar that made them believe he was the guy for their future. And that's when everything exploded. Watching it all unfold live on air, Louis Riddick was visibly stunned. As the announcement came in, the cameras captured his immediate reaction. Shaking his head in disbelief, Riddick was seen muttering under his breath before launching into an unfiltered, passionate rant that quickly went viral. He didn't mince words. He called the decision short-sighted, inexplicable, and a major missed opportunity. In his view, the Cowboys had just fumbled one of the most important decisions of their future by passing on a quarterback he believes has the potential to be a generational talent. According to Riddick, this wasn't just a mistake, it was a franchise-altering error that could haunt Dallas for years to come. And he wasn't alone. Fans watching from home flooded social media with reactions ranging from stunned disbelief to outright fury. Twitter erupted as Cowboys Nation tried to make sense of what had just happened. For some, it felt like the team had passed on a golden opportunity. For others, there was a willingness to defend the move, to put faith in the front office, and to believe that Reveljar had the kind of upside that could surprise everyone. But make no mistake, no matter which side of the debate you were on, there was one thing nobody could argue: this was the most shocking moment of the draft so far. So let's talk about Shavon Reveljar for a moment, because while the shadow of Shedeur Sanders looms large, the Cowboys clearly didn't make this decision on a whim. Reveljar is an aggressive, high-upside quarterback who brings physicality and athleticism to the position. He's known for his mobility, his leadership on the field, and a fiery competitive nature that has impressed scouts behind the scenes. His play style is dynamic, he can hurt teams with his legs, he can extend plays, and he brings a swagger that has quietly made him a favorite among a handful of front offices who saw past the more obvious big names. The Cowboys believe they didn't just reach, they believe they found a gem. Reveljar isn't the safe pick, he's the bold one. In a league where high-risk moves often yield the biggest rewards, Dallas is betting that their evaluation process is sharper than everyone else's. They believe Reveljar can step in, develop quickly, and ultimately become a cornerstone of the next era of Cowboys football. Inside the Cowboys war room, there was reportedly unanimous agreement. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and Will McClay all backed the move. They believe that sometimes you have to zig when everyone else zags. And this, in their minds, was a definitive zig. But Louis Riddick couldn't disagree more. His fiery critique wasn't just about the player Dallas picked, it was about the player they passed on. In his view, you don't let someone like Shedeur Sanders slip through your fingers, especially when the fit makes so much sense. He believes Shedeur was not only the best quarterback in the draft, but someone with the kind of leadership, toughness, and X factor that teams desperately chase. Passing on a quarterback with that profile, that pedigree, and that level of preparation is the kind of move that gets revisited every time your team struggles to move the ball. And you can bet, if Shedeur Sanders goes on to light it up somewhere else, if he becomes a star, if he leads his team to wins while Dallas is still figuring out its quarterback future, this moment will be played on loop. It'll be shown in highlight packages. It'll be dissected by pundits. It'll be the what if that lingers over the franchise. That's the risk the Cowboys are taking. And that's exactly why this draft moment isn't just about one pick, it's about the future identity of the Dallas Cowboys. To his credit, Shedeur Sanders has handled this situation with complete class. When asked about the Cowboys passing on him, he didn't lash out or throw shade. Instead, he said, "Everything happens for a reason. I'm excited for my opportunity and I'm going to show the world what I can do." That's the mentality of a competitor, someone who doesn't need the spotlight to validate his worth. And you better believe when he eventually gets the chance to play against Dallas, he's going to be playing with a giant chip on his shoulder. Meanwhile, the pressure on Shavon Reveljar just multiplied by 1,000. Being a first-round pick for the Dallas Cowboys comes with weighty expectations already. But now, he'll be measured not just against his own development, but against the rising star of the man he was picked over. Every mistake will be amplified. Every misstep will be scrutinized. But every flash of greatness will ignite hope. If Reveljar thrives, he'll be seen as a genius pick, one that proves the Cowboys front office saw something nobody else did. If he falters, though, this moment will become infamous. Around the league, the reactions continue to pour in. Some front office insiders have praised the Cowboys for sticking to their board, saying it takes courage to go against the grain. Others remain baffled that a team with so much riding on the quarterback position would make such a risky decision. Scouts are reshuffling their rankings. Analysts are rewriting their grades. Nobody can deny the impact of this decision. It's already one of the most talked about draft picks in recent memory, and we're only just beginning to see how it will play out. Among fans, emotions are still raw. Some feel heartbroken, convinced that Shedeur Sanders was supposed to be the future. They imagined a new era led by a young quarterback with star appeal and elite upside. They believed this was the moment Dallas would take a big swing at reshaping its identity. Others are trying to stay positive, noting that great teams aren't built overnight and that balance across the roster matters. They argue that defense wins championships and that maybe, just maybe, Reveljar is exactly what the Cowboys need. And let's not forget there's still plenty of off-season left. Free agency remains open. Trades are always a possibility. There are still more quarterbacks in this draft class, and we don't know what other moves the Cowboys might have up their sleeves. Maybe they have a plan. Maybe they're working on a bigger picture that we just can't see yet. But for now, all eyes are on Shavon Reveljar. He's the new face of controversy. He's the new name every Cowboys fan is going to be talking about. He's stepping into the spotlight with the weight of a franchise on his shoulders. This is what makes the NFL draft so compelling. It's not just about picking players. It's about identity. It's about vision. It's about taking risks and believing in your process. The Cowboys made a bold choice, and whether it pays off or not will be one of the most fascinating storylines to follow in the years ahead. So, Cowboys Nation, get ready for a wild ride. The future is officially here, and it's going to be unpredictable, emotional, and full of fire. Make sure you're subscribed right here so you don't miss a second of this incredible journey. Smash that like button if you're fired up about the Cowboys making bold moves. Drop a comment below and let us know, did the Cowboys make the right choice with Shavon Reveljar? Should they have drafted Shedeur Sanders? And what do you think comes next for America's team? Thank you for watching, Cowboys Nation. The future is bright, the road ahead is wild, and together we ride.